Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. The Texas A&M commitment sweatshirt comes back on a Wednesday afternoon. This one should fire up a lot of Texas A&M fans. Four-star cornerback Camren Hamiel committing to Texas A&M. This is the exact kind of football player that Mike Elko wants in his secondary. For the last 18 months, as we have broken down commitments for Texas A&M, whether it be in the transfer portal, whether it be on the high school recruiting trail, we talk about the same thing when we're talking about Texas A&M guys in the secondary. Mike Elko wants size and he wants track and field background. And Camren Hamiel, he checks both of those boxes. And I think what fires me up the most about Camren Hamiel is he's a guy that he checks the athletic profiles that Mike Elko wants in his secondary. He also plays like his athletic profile tells us he should play on the film. This is a kid that really, really good at the point of attack in terms of tackling in space. His ability to take away throwing windows with his speed and quickness, it's elite. He has the ability to play man coverage, has the ability to play zone, really, really good football IQ. So you're getting a football player that, yeah, he has the prerequisite athletic profile that we need in the SEC. At the end of the day, you want to play cornerback in this conference. You have to be big and you got to run because you're going to be going up against a lot of wide receivers that are big and can run, but also a guy that checks the football box. This is a good football player coming to Texas A&M. Now, I want to get a little bit more into Camren Hamiel, dive into a little bit of his junior year stuff, and then we got to talk about Texas A&M hosting monster recruiting weekend in College Station going down. Before we get into it, as always, to the Texas A&M fans, appreciate you guys. And been a really fun 18 months for me personally, like talking this Texas A&M program as Mike Elko has taken over it. I've been very vocal that the process that I see playing out for Mike Elko and Texas A&M, I'm a really big fan of how they recruit the high school ranks, but also supplement on the transfer portal. It's been really fun to talk about, and the amount of support that the Texas A&M fans have shown the boys has been amazing. Appreciate you guys. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel quietly. Texas A&M has a comfortable top 10 class in the country, and there is a real reality where we see Texas A&M sign a top 5 class in the country. In the way they also use the portal, you sign top 5 classes at the high school ranks, supplement the way Texas A&M does in the portal. That's the recipe to competing for national championships. All right, Camren Hamiel, one of the things that I think fascinates me is he's a really versatile kid. I think has the profile to stick out on the boundary at cornerback. I think would be a damn good nickel. He's big enough to play boundary, but he's probably 6'1" tops. Him as a nickel with his short area quickness and his ability to fire downhill and support the run game, that's the position where I think he has his highest ceiling. You turn on the film and say, again, the thing that I love the most about him is he has a strong track and field background. Sometimes we turn on the film for these track and field guys and say, where's that track and field speed? It doesn't always translate to the college football field. Not for a guy like Camren Hamiel. This is a guy that you turn it on, one, heady, football IQ. Look at the amount of ground he can cover immediately. Gets to the point almost too quickly where he overruns it. Takes it the other way. Again, guy that you ain't catching when he has the football in space, that's for sure. Number two, his ability to just, again, close down on throwing windows at an exceptional rate. This is a guy that, hey, we got to cover a lot of ground real quick from that nickel cornerback spot, and his ability to do so and then go play the football at the contact point, it's what you're looking for, especially when you're talking nickel corners. All right, how about his ability to come up and support the run? Again, one, quickly just closing the gap between himself and the ball carrier. And then when it's time to be physical at the point, we're going to be making tackles in open space. You playing in zone coverage right here, right? Eyes on the quarterback. Look at the amount of throwing windows that this kid is operating. You get like a high-low concept here, right? You have a shallow guy. You have a guy running 10 yards behind him. He's covering them both. He completely fooling, like almost baiting the quarterback into taking the guy down the field. And then we're going to take away that throwing window real damn quick and play the football. I like it. I like it a lot. Like, I like the athlete, but I also love the football player. Again, really, really physical when it comes to supporting the run. You see that all over the film. Texas A&M in 2026, I think you have a really good boundary cornerback in Victor Singleton. We broke that commitment down in the spring. That was a massive get for Texas A&M. You had a guy like Camren Hamiel, you feel good about it. Well, how about a top priority for Texas A&M making his way to campus this weekend in Bralan Womack? I think Florida's in this one. I think Ohio State's probably the leader in this one. Here's the thing with this recruitment is Ohio State considered the leader. They got 3 safeties already in their class in 2026. Now, I'll say this. I don't think Bralan Womack's going to take a back seat to anybody. Wherever he wants to go, he's going to go because I don't think there's many safeties, if any, that are better in the country. I know Texas A&M really likes this kid. They're going to get an opportunity to maybe take up and make up a lot of ground in this recruitment. And I'll just come out and say, you watch Bralan Womack, and again, it's a little bit lower level of football down in Mississippi. It kind of reminds you a little bit of Caleb Downs. He does it all, whether it's playing as a box safety, whether it's playing in man coverage, whether it's playing single high. The game seems so slow, and it seems so easy for him. This is a guy that you need in this era of college football where so many different offenses want to do so many different things and you see different kinds of personnel. You need guys that, hey, one game you're playing a team like Georgia that wants to run 2 tight end sets and run the football at you. You need a safety that can come down and support the run. And the next week you might be going out and playing Alabama with a ton of speed on the outside, throwing the pill around. Well, you need safeties that be able to cover. Like, to me, Bralan Womack, he's checking all the boxes that you want in a safety in this day and age. Last guy I'll talk about real quick, Tristan Key is going to be making a visit to Texas A&M. Again, he's committed to LSU. That commitment does not seem very strong. He's been taking his visits ever since he committed, and we've seen Texas A&M identify wide receivers they like. Whether it was Terry Bussey Terry Bussey wasn't a wide receiver at this point, but Mike Elko took over, wrapped that one up. But then Jerome Miles in the 2025 class. I wonder if this is a guy that Mike Elko and Texas A&M are going to make a big play for. We'll see what the buzz is coming out of the weekend, but you're getting a top 5 player in the country and the best wide receiver in the country on campus in College Station. We'll see how that goes as well. To sum it up, I love the way Mike Elko is going about building this roster. I've been very vocal about it, and we kind of knew Mike Elko wasn't going to be a guy that was like Lane Kiffin and just comes in, hits the transfer portal, and tries to win a bunch of games year one. Mike Elko is going to build this thing the right way. We're going to use the transfer portal to supplement our high school recruiting ranks, but we're going to build a strong foundation at the high school ranks, specifically along the line of scrimmage. That's what Mike Elko has come into College Station and done. I think it should excite a lot of Texas A&M fans. You give Mike Elko a top 10 roster in the country, I think he's going to do damage with it. All right, we'll sign out there. Appreciate you guys rocking with it. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.